Baba, it's great to have you on the show today, and I want to really start with the market's move. It's been extended, I hear, for the ninth straight day. Can you tell us what is going on?
Yeah, good day to you, Wole. The market is looking good. The figures you're seeing are pretty exciting. GTB, has done a year-to-date high of about 1871 as at today's trading. We're seeing First Bank doing well over 13, 80, 85. We're seeing Calgary doing a year-to-date high of well over 2065. Basically, the market is really on the upbeat. We're seeing a year-to-date in so many of the stocks. Market cap is running up on 7.75 trillion, with index on the same proportion. I think the market mood is good, and we're on course. We're on course, basically. All
right, let's move back to UBA. And I just mentioned Air Nigeria and the fact that they are grounded for another 12 months. I know that UBA has some exposure to that airline, and there's a sense that they may have to take some losses. Is this something that impacted the share price at all today?
Yeah, the news is just filtering into the markets, and I think it's a bit of worrying news. Basically, we begin to see the manifestation of that information on UBA price, starting from tomorrow. I think by and large that news, does not portend, so much good news for UBA as a brand, the share price and all that. Like Riley pointed out, basically, I mean, it means that, they probably begin to discuss with APCON, because if you look back on, the structure, the scale of operation of Air Nigeria, it's pretty huge, and that, will go correspondingly with, the level of facility they have with UBA. I think it's a bit worrying. Let's see how the management of UBA will begin to go back to the drawing board and see how they can begin to negotiate, with all parties, see the securities they have in place. And I think, well, all in all, it doesn't look too good for UBA and a few other banks that have exposure to Air Nigeria. But let's see how it pans out. Let's not make hasty decisions or, calculate, on the direction of, negotiation.
Well, as you said, it is a huge exposure. What I've heard is it's as much as 34 billion naira. That's the number I got from BrainCap. But let's move on to the petroleum marketing sector. And of course, there is now news of some of fuel queues airing their ugly head, if I can use that phrase, in Lagos again, and perhaps in Abuja as well. And what we're hearing, of course, is that fuel importers are beginning to down tools. They are not importing, or rather, they're not supplying to the tanker drivers. And clearly, this is something that may have an impact on the petroleum marketing stocks. Is that something that you think is filtering through to the market yet?
Well, basically, the implications will obviously cut across the oil and petroleum stocks. You'll recall, and of course you know that the petroleum sector is the driving force in the entire economy. Whatever affects that particular sector will definitely impact negatively on the length and breadth of the market. I think we are very disturbed about this news that is filtering the market. Basically, it's not unconnected with the fact that the oil subsidy probe that is ongoing, and the fact that some of the blacklisted, quote unquote, complaints for which had collected subsidy, are meant to actually pay back, and some of them are actually imported products for which subsidy has been denied them. I think really, if you ask me, it's pretty worrying. It's not too early in the day for the government to begin to negotiate with these sectors constructively, so that we can begin to have some sanity in the system, and in particular the fact that we don't have triple effect on the conglomerates, banking, and the entire economy as a whole. I think it's a worrying news. It's pretty disturbing, but I think by and large also that we'll begin to probably get out of it. Don't forget the fact that there's been talk of removing of the entire balance of the subsidy down the month. I think it probably may not be unconnected with this singular directive from what we're getting from the government quarters. I think that it's important that government begin to put their machinery in motion to see how they can tame this monster of activities that's about to rail us in the face.
All right, let's
disturbing.
Absolutely, it is quite disturbing. But let's move back to the broader market and your thoughts on where this market may go. Like I mentioned, it's extending those rallies. I don't think anyone saw this coming. We're seeing the ninth straight day of gains. Your thoughts on where this market will go, say for instance, into next week?
Yeah, my thought clearly had the fact that we'll begin to see dip, on case by cases. UBA most likely will probably trade very low tomorrow. That singular, impact will, trickle down on other stocks. So it's most likely that most of the banking stocks will begin to thin out. Don't forget the fact that GTB is meant to, pay their interim sometimes next week, Monday. Plus or minus, we're going to see profit takers coming in on GTB. GTB closed about 1872 today. That will dip tomorrow. Generally, I think the market template may begin to weaken a little. Yeah. Partly, the fact that profit takers will definitely come in. Right. The scare of subsidy, and all that may begin to impact the market negatively. I think we are on a bearish note as we go.
Well, I think many people will agree that the market is, of course, due for a bit of a breather. It has moved quite a long way over the last few weeks. Thanks so much, Baba, for joining us on the show today.